to license it.
Meep, meep.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is an MC Toy model Jaguar XJS. You say Jaguar with 2 syllables or Jaguar with 3. I don't even know. Comment below and correct my semantics if you want to. In the meantime, I'm going to get busy with a wheel swap and a paint job and turn this into a beautiful car like it once was. The Jaguar XJS had the unfortunate role in history of replacing the much-loved, very beautiful and classic Jaguar E Type in 1975, and that's a tough act to follow. According to YouTube car reviewer Doug DeMuro, the Jaguar XJS is the cheapest V12 sports car on earth, but he cites the reason for that as unreliability. It's an MC Toy, which is one of the die-cast toy companies that merged together with 2 others, including Maisto, a name that you might be more familiar with. Made in China. It is a plastic base on this one, but 2 rivets holding it together, and kind of a standard looking suspension that you can see. Tired out wheels on this one. Fairly well detailed interior in a tan color. That's perfect for what I have in mind for this. And a 1-piece windshield. In fact, that might be the cleanest windshield that I've got to work with so far. So I'm excited about that. Back into the bench vise, and I'm going to drill out the posts here with a 1mm drill bit. And there was no drama, no problem at this point. And a couple of test screws just to make sure everything fits the way I want it to before we do any paint and detail work on that and have to re-drill at the end. Now I usually try to save the original wheels if I can, and these aren't the worst set that I've ever seen, but I happen to have in my very, very small inventory a set that's even nicer, and I think will match this because it's a Jaguar. And it's a beautiful looking car, so I want to dress it up just a touch more. And these are the wheels that I've selected. They're the perfect size fit. Easy to swap them out with this plastic base. I didn't have to do any cutting or molding or gluing. It's going to be a nice roller. Into the paint stripping gel to get rid of this old tattered paint job. You know, I've been using gel since I started in this hobby a couple of months ago, and I've seen on YouTube a lot of guys use caustic soda. I haven't done that yet, mainly because I don't have any caustic soda. But I like the way it bubbles up and gives you almost a volcanic reaction when you put the solution in water. And I might try that one day, but for now, this is what I've got to work with. And while it's in the gel, I do a cleanup. There's only a couple of pieces involved this time. And I was so happy as I was cleaning this little windshield to discover that I think it's the best one I've seen so far. Not a scratch on it, and just with a little hot soapy water, it came out beautifully. So I'll bypass the wet sanding process this time and even the polish. with a Q-tip, and it just goes into the floor polish solution for some shine and protection. And I am delighted about that. Pop a cup on top of that to keep it clean while it dries. And you can guess from just looking at that blistered paint how easily this is going to slide right off, as I sometimes say, like zombie skin. No resistance at all. So MC Toy does not win the award for the most durable paint from the factory. And I usually go from here into the laundry room and give it a bristle brush treatment with some more hot soapy water, and it came out like this, and there was not even oh, just a moment, not even a speck of paint left on that. And I go to work here now. You know, by this point, I think car number 33 in my YouTube uploads, the vast majority of my makeovers have been done with hand tools and paint from spray cans, and I think they've turned out okay. And it's evidence that you can do this hobby at home at very low expense, probably with what you've got in your workroom right now. That being said, I'm still very much looking forward to my big mail haul when the borders open to Germany and I can get my Amazon deliveries and my Dremel tool, but keeping the old school skills alive for now with the wire brush and the fine steel wool. But what a mess that makes. So I give it a little cleanup before we continue on with the next step, and that's some degreasing and painting. In the news is Jane Goodall getting it on with a chimpanzee, and the primer coat goes on first, is standard, so the final color application has a good base to stick to. But what color to choose for the Jaguar XJS? Now there's the return of the Saint in white, could be red, looks very sharp in silver, or even blue, but in the end, for me, there was only one choice. You say Jaguar, I say British Racing Green. You agree? I lay on a tack coat first, not too thick, and I let that set to dry for a little bit. 10-15 minutes later, I lay on coat number 2, and I'm going to do that a third time as well, just for good coverage. It's a little darker every time. And yes, they come in all colors, and that's what I was going for right there. So you just saw Ian Ogilvy with his white XJS a couple of moments ago. In pop culture, this car was featured in the UK TV series Return of the Saint. In the original show, The Saint, Roger Moore drove a 1962 Volvo P-1800, but Ian Ogilvy got his Jag in white. So that was one of the options to choose from. But I'm going with the green, and that lends itself well to some of these final details standing out. Taillights will be translucent red, but I laid down a little chrome first so that they show up even better. And because it's a fairly plain plastic base, I'm going to chrome up the underneath and give it a new exhaust system. I am really having a lot of fun with this new hobby, and if you're enjoying watching this video, I'd like you to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers, why don't you hit that little button in the bottom right corner of the screen and become a new one? There's no prize if you do, and there's no penalty if you don't, but why not hit that button and see what happens? There are the red taillights going on. I've added a couple of customized license plates, Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers, car number 33. If you find it one day, you'll know where it came from. This one came apart very easily, and it goes back together just as simply. We'll press for the windshield to go back onto that rivet. And see what I mean? That tan interior is perfect for the British racing green. If it had been cream or white, I would have painted it this tan color. I love the combination with the green. Tell me what you think about this video and other makeovers that I've uploaded to YouTube by leaving your respectful comments below. And be sure to tell me where you're watching from. I think one of the great parts of this YouTube community is connecting with people all around the world, and I'd love to know where you are. And number 33 is in the books. Now let's have a closer look. Ferraris ought to be red, Jags ought to be green. And the new wheels are the perfect size. Makes a little difference in the final detail, I think. Wraparound taillights. A little detail work on the undercarriage. Headlights, chrome grille, front license plate. I love it when a project comes together. That just got a new second life. Here it was when I started. Not all that bad, but the paint job and the wheels let it down. But it came out beautifully, don't you think? I do. Simon Templar would be pleased. I sure am. Thanks for visiting today. Come on back real soon. It's coffee time.